God has a reviewable record of his goodness and of his love. Grace and peace, everybody. Welcome to Sabbath School Study Group. Beyond reasonable expectations. This is it, part 5 of this 5-part series. We hope you take the time to check out all of the other parts. But even if this is the only one you get, I hope you get something good, because we're going to see God has a record. He's got a rap sheet, and it is very good. Before we look at his rap sheet, I want to thank you for watching. By all means, hit that like button and leave a comment, and even pass this video on to someone else. We'd love for you to go to the website as well. You're going to see this study and many, many more. That's at changeministry.org. And don't forget that contact link. You email us at contact@changeministry.org. Let's get this thing going where we can come to your church, your school, and let God work. Whether it's one day or a weekend or even a series, let's let God work where you are. God's reviewable record. That's what the Bible really is. It's a record. It's a rap sheet. Negatively, usually is how we think of a rap sheet, because it's what law enforcement uses as the record to see what has this person done and what have they been mixed up with. Well, if you run God's rap sheet, you'll only see righteousness, and you'll only see him in a consistent, self-disinterested pattern of trying to get us to receive him. Remember in Exodus 33, Moses went to God and he said, "I beseech thee, show me thy glory." He wanted to see God. He had seen the work, right? This is on the other side of the Red Sea. It's on the other side of Egypt. He's seen God's work, but he's like, you know what? I'm seeing your work and I'm hearing your voice, but I want to see your face. Well, look at how God deals with that. In verse 19, God said, he said, "I will make all my goodness pass before thee. And I'll proclaim the name of the Lord before thee. And I'll be gracious to whom I'll be gracious. And I will show mercy on whom I will show mercy." Hold up, time out. I thought Moses said, "I want to see your face." And the moment that he starts talking about face, God starts talking about why you ought to have faith. You see, how my eyes and how my nose and how all this stuff looks, it's not important, because really the essence of who I am is my character, not my makeup. His makeup is not his makeup. His makeup is his character. That's what he's saying. And he uses those words again. There they are. Mercy, grace, goodness. This is who he is. How he looks is no different than how he loves. Yes, we were made in his image. Yes, God has a face. God has eyes. God has ears. Because when he said in Genesis chapter 1 to Jesus, "Let us make man in our image," that's why we're not animals. That's why we're not just a step above a monkey. We are image bearers of God himself. So that was a record, right? That's what happened in Exodus 33. But now look at the contract. The reference to what happened historically, you can't beat Paul. Paul says in Romans chapter 2, verse 4, "Or despisest thou the riches of his goodness and forbearance and long suffering, not knowing that the goodness of God leadeth thee to repentance?" What would lead Gomer, remember Hosea's wife, what would lead her to come back home? Israel. What would lead Israel to come back to God? And what did God show Moses when Moses asked God to show him himself? It's his love. Paul says it's the goodness of God that even draws us into wanting to be back with God. If it's anything else, we miss him. God says that the last soul, or the line that I want to throw out to all people to bring them to me, is to be good to them. And it's my goodness that ultimately leads you to not just to come to God, but to stay with him. That's why I'm staying with him. I'm staying with him because he's proved beyond the shadow of doubt that he is good. That doesn't mean that there won't be shadows in my life. That doesn't mean that there won't even be times that I might doubt. But beyond the shadow, and beyond the shadow of my own doubts, the truth of who God is that he is good. And sometimes if we're worried about what God's going to do tomorrow, just take time to look at his record. Go to his rap sheet. I'm not going to use the term rap sheet. Go to his righteousness and look at how good God has been yesterday, today. So we got a pretty good reason to believe in his forever.